Hey guys, Mo back again. Today I'm going to be comparing the brand new iPhone 15 Pro Max with the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Samsung's most expensive phone is actually the Z Fold 5 at $1,800, but the best phone is actually the S23 Ultra that came out earlier in the year. That phone costs $400. With the Ultra, you're getting all the best cameras, specs, and battery. And with the Fold, you don't necessarily have all of that. You just have the ability to have a folding phone in your pocket. But without further ado, let's compare the new iPhone to the S23 Ultra, which feels like it's been out for decades, but it has only been released since February. So design-wise, the S23 Ultra is just a traditional smartphone design, has a large display, got 5 eyeballs in the back, and a hole punch camera in the front. You can do face unlock with that hole punch camera, but it is not secure as the face unlock on the iPhone. It has a great ultrasonic under display fingerprint unlock. It is very fast, but for me, I find it personally hard to activate a lot of the time because the coverage area is so small. If you hit it perfectly, it will unlock right away, but you miss it by just a little bit, you have to tap it a few times just to make it work. So that's my only minor complaint there. I do know some of the Chinese phones out there, like the Vivo phone, they made the area a lot bigger and faster to activate. I hope that we do see these fingerprint sensor improve in the upcoming model. But for now, it is still small and tiny, basically been the same sensitive and used it over the last few years. So not a big upgrade there. With the iPhone 15 Pro Max, you get 3 giant eyeballs in the back, a smaller notch in the front, which houses a super fast and secure face unlock that none of the Android phones have to offer, just in terms of security level. They got that dynamic island they introduced last year, where you get to see a notch expand when you get notifications or a random action comes in. This year, the iPhone 15 Pro Max is made of titanium. You're going to be hearing that word get tossed around a lot. It is technically more durable. It allows the phone to be lighter than previous years. One thing I do want to comment about titanium, even though it is stronger, but even aluminum frames, those never really crack. The only thing that really crack is the screen itself. So you don't really have problems around the edges of the phone. There's always the screen itself. So just keep that in mind. Titanium's nice, but it is not, the phone itself is not indestructible because the majority of the phone is made of glass. The S23 Ultra got a 6.8-inch display with 120Hz refresh rate. The iPhone 15 Pro Max is slightly smaller, but you're not going to really be able to tell the difference. Both these phones are bright, sharp, and colorful. S23 Ultra tops off at 1750 nits, while the 15 Pro Max actually goes up to 2000 nits, which is interesting to see. Samsung actually makes the display for Apple, and ironically, they allow Apple to have the best screen technology. Previously, Samsung have always kept it to themselves. At the end of the day, it is a smart business decision for Samsung because iPhones are the best-selling phones worldwide over the last few years. Samsung, on the other hand, their best-selling phone is actually their low-end A series, which doesn't necessarily need the best screen. So they're gonna make a lot of money selling this screen to Apple. Why not? Performance-wise, S23 Ultra got the best Android chip of the year, Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. iPhone 15 Pro Max got the A17 Bionic chip. So every year you get a higher number, a slightly faster chip. But performance-wise, over the last 3 years, you're not going to be able to tell that much of a difference with any of these phones on a day-to-day basis. Chips have gotten so good. You're just scrolling around on social media, watching YouTube, playing games. They all offer pretty similar experience. So the S23 Ultra got the quad camera system in the back. They do have the 200 megapixel main sensor, but higher number doesn't always necessarily mean better camera or anything like that. You got the 100x zoom, which is nice, but not particularly useful. Maybe you're on a vacation, you want to take a picture of a building far away, that'll be nice, but you're not home for the most part, you don't need to 100x zoom every single day. iPhone 15 Pro Max got the 48 megapixel main camera, but just in general, both of these smartphones are going to offer you some of the best videos and photos that smartphone have to offer. So it's really a personal preference of which one you like more. I've shown my iPhone friends my Galaxy photos. They tend to like a lot more than the iPhone, but there are some people who swear by iPhone photos. So give or take, all personal preference, but you're getting the best of the best from both companies. Battery life-wise, the S23 Ultra does have a bigger milliamp on paper at 5,000. iPhone 15 Pro Max is about 4,300 milliamp. But the 14 Pro Max and the 13 Pro Max, most people have gotten more than a day of battery life. With the S23 Ultra, I get about 15 hours of battery life on average, so I expect the 15 Pro Max to be better in the battery life department as well. Although the saving grace for Samsung is they do offer 45 watt fast charging, so even if your phone don't completely make it through the day, you can just plug in for 10 to 15 minutes. It'll be more than enough. Compared to Apple with the 20 watt fast charging, it might take them up to 2 hours to fully charge the phone. So some of the differentiator between, for Samsung, you got the S Pen. You can multitask on it better than Apple phones. You got floating windows. You can have split screen and do any of the crazy stuff you want. You can have Samsung DeX. You connect your phone to the computer by wired or even wirelessly. So you can use your phone and the computer really easily, check your Snapchat, go into social media, do all that fun stuff with a touch of a button. Samsung even have reverse wireless charging, and so perhaps Apple haven't put this on their phone yet, but this allows you to charge your friend's smartphone, you can charge your smartwatch, you can charge your Galaxy Buds. I don't find it to be that useful, but it's nice to have whenever you're in a pinch, I guess, and you don't want to carry too many things around. Some of the things that stand out on the iPhone side is in the US only, iPhones are exclusively eSIM, so no more physical SIM card. So it makes me want to do a little bit more research on the process. I know eSIM is so funky in general. So I'm just trying to read how's it like to switch eSIM from iPhone to iPhone, for example. It sounds easy in theory, but not everything is as smooth as you expect. Another thing I want to consider is if you're switching from an Android phone to an iPhone, how would you even do that? Do you activate the SIM on the Android phone? Then at that point, do you need a new eSIM to put onto the iPhone? Same thing with switching from an iPhone to an Android with eSIM card. It's kind of a black hole and very vague area at the moment. And I think it's going to really require a quality of carrier just to kind of figure out how this whole process works. I know eSIM in theory is the future, but for now it is very funky and the process is not really worked out, and I have a lot of questions. And that is the one thing I don't like about having the eSIM only model in the US as of the moment, because eSIM is just not readily available worldwide yet. Or at least it isn't as smooth and as easy as it should be. With physical SIM card, you pop up the SIM, put in the new phone, and you're done. With eSIM, no one have any idea how to switch from phone to phone. It is so confusing. But there is my little spiel on eSIMs. With iPhone, you get the MagSafe, so that is still a cool thing to have going for them. I do wish they had this for Android. It sounds like a nice little feature. You can just slap a little case in the back, it just snap back there. You can charge your phone, so many different accessories. Maybe it'll be available for Android one day, but iPhone got that going for them. They got the whole ecosystem, iMessage, so all your Blue Bubble friends, you can all hang out together there. And you get at least 5 years of software updates, if not more, which is one of the best things about Apple. On the Android side of the house, Samsung is the best that Android has to offer, and it's only 4 years of guaranteed software updates. Price-wise, both of these phones are $1,200, so pick your poison depending on which one you like more. So just a recap on what is new on each phone. With the iPhone 15 Pro Max, you are finally getting USB-C after 100 of years. The EU forced it upon Apple to have USB-C on their phones. Otherwise, they cannot sell it. So now Apple just made a business-wide decision to have USB-C all around the world, which is great for everyone. I mean, half of the products have USB-C, but for some reason, iPhone, they just stuck with lightning cable. And the reason why they did that is they can monetize it and make money off it. So I can see why they stuck with it for so long. And like I mentioned earlier, the new titanium material allows them to make their phone lighter. So it is 221 grams compared to the 234 grams on the S23 Ultra. On paper, it doesn't sound that much, but when you're holding these large phones, every gram actually does matter. I do like that the fact that they are trending towards making a phone lighter again, because at one point phones just got, every year they got thinner and lighter, and then somewhere along the way they turned around, they got heavier and bigger camera, bigger modules, and now maybe they might be trending backward. And just for comparison, the Z Fold 5 is 253 grams, and I think that is really heavy for a phone to use. Everyday single-handed use, it does get tiring. And the Pixel Fold is a whopping 283 grams, so literally holding a brick in your pocket. And so do like the new titanium stuff with the lighter materials. I'm all for light premium phones. The action button is new as well for Apple, so they replaced the mute switch that they have for the last 15 years. Now you can use the action button to mute your phone, or you can map other actions like cameras, alarm, or whatever app you want. That's kind of cool, I guess. I think the action button is cool in theory, but it's something I don't really use that often either. Samsung, they used up the Bixby button where they force you to use Bixby, and then later on they updated to allow you to disable Bixby. And a few years later, they actually let you map it like an action button, and then Samsung got rid of it completely. So now the power button on the S23 Ultra, it kind of serves as an action button. If you double tap on it, you can launch a camera, or you can assign other action to it, and you long press it. It will activate Bixby. Maybe you can map that too. So the power button in a way serves as an action button for Samsung. So with the S23 Ultra compared to the previous years, you're getting a newer camera with a 200 megapixel camera. You get a better battery life and performance with a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. You're actually getting a heavier phone with the S23, the 233 grams, compared to the 228 gram from the previous year. So there you have it. That's just a quick comparison of both phones. And so you're probably wondering which phone is right for you. It all depends really. If you're already deep into the Apple ecosystem, you want iMessage, stay in your blue bubble, talk to all your friends and family. You want FaceTime, all about security and just being safe and boring. It's a stick of the iPhone, I guess. It's pretty, they got a good thing going for them. A nice close-knit ecosystem and everything works well. It works very efficient. But whether you should upgrade or not, it really depends on what phone you're using today. If you're using the 14 Pro Max, you probably don't need the 15 Pro Max. If you have an old, ancient Android phone, you want to switch ecosystem, then it's probably worth an upgrade. If you already have the latest S23 Ultra, you may or may not want to switch over to an iPhone. So it all depends on your circumstances. But let me know in the comments below what phone you're using, and I can help you make the best decision on whether or not it's worth upgrading to one phone or the other. And on the Android side of the house, with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, the S23 Ultra, you're looking at customization. You're getting the S Pen, you get DeX, all these random cool features on the S23 Ultra, which you may or may not use. And RCS actually works great on Android, so we all talk to each other just fine. They get high quality videos, high quality messages, pictures, and all that. So blame Apple and their iMessage for why these platforms don't talk to each other well. So ultimately, the best way to decide which phone it is for you is to actually try them both for yourself and see what works best for you. Thank you for watching, and see you guys in the next video. Let me know in the comments below which phone do you think is better. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more tech reviews and comparisons. Please check out my last video of me comparing the Z Fold 5 with the iPhone 15 Pro Max if you are interested.